Hi, welcome back to Multifamily Playbook again. This is Snowy. If you've ever wondered how to manage your properties while traveling or living in a different city, this episode is exactly for you. So since 2017, right after we closed our first 50-unit multifamily, the day of closing, Zach took the flight right away after we left the title company because he had to go to the new city with his W-2 job. And I stayed at the same state of where our first multifamily located. I stayed there for a couple months just to handle everything that we need to do after closing. Take over the keys from the previous landlord to transfer everything with the third-party management company, switch the utility, electricity, trash, and everything else related to the property and being a landlord. So I'm the perfect one to show you. And since then, most of our multifamilies we invested, only one of them was about 1 hour driving from where we lived. But everything else, they were either 6 to 7 hours driving one way or 2 to 3 hours by airplane. So I will be the perfect person to show you how we manage our rental properties remotely from our phone or team meetings, just using simple tech tools, reliable local partner or on-site management team, and consistent check-ins that keep things running like clockwork. Just like I said earlier, we only invest one property, a 44-unit multifamily, which was about 1 hour away by driving from where we used to live. And most of the others, they were either 6 to 7 hours driving or 2 to 3 hours flight. But that doesn't stop us from knowing what's going on or what's happening at the properties, because we've built the system that works anywhere. So for example, right now, the property that is closest to where we live is about 5.5 hour driving one way. And the furthest one, if we drove, probably will take 2 days. So how do we manage those portfolios remotely? First, clear communication. Either you find a reliable third-party management company like we used to do, or when you're big enough, you build your own property management company that you can live where you like to live, but invest where makes sense. So at the first few years, we did use some third-party property management company for 2 reasons. One, we didn't have enough experience and the lenders didn't allow us to manage the properties by ourselves. Second reason, we were still too small. We were not able to build our own team yet at that time. When we were growing bigger and bigger, and the third-party management company didn't grow with us. They didn't do the work as what we expected or what we told them. We were not at the same page. So we had to build our own management company. Luckily, we started to manage our single families ourselves back from 2015. And then we also managed our 44 unit, which was just about 1 hour away by driving from us. We had enough experience to start our own. And there's another reason that even when we invested in Northern Kentucky, we had a few properties, about 400 units together. Even we used a third-party management company, but just because the relationship we had with the third-party management company, we were pretty much doing most of the management ourselves. What they were doing was just to help us doing the payrolls. So we had experience, we had a team, we had the source to start our own when the time comes. So we started with our first regional manager to help us manage the team locally. And we were able to communicate with all the on-site team, like the property managers, the maintenance supervisors, even the vendors, just over the phone calls, text messages, or emails. And of course, we used to fly to those properties pretty often, once or twice a month, and sometimes we stay 1 week or 2 weeks locally just to check the progress of everything, especially when we just close the acquisition. When those properties turn stable, then we could visit the property once or twice a month or every other month. When you have enough property at your portfolio, then you can hire more regional managers. Make sure remote doesn't mean disconnected. For example, clear communication means visibility, like we visit the property a lot and we show up without informing the team that we are going to visit the property. And also, mobile tools is equal to fast decisions. And of course, we make sure that we have the on-site support to be the accountability to our property management. Even though we don't live at the cities where we invest, we don't have to be there daily, but we still run the business professionally. And remember, the systems that keep us connected with all those properties. We use Resume to do our resident management, rent collection, accounting, financial report, work orders, communication with all the residents. Our team can either text the resident, prospects, or email them through Resume, and our admin team can get all the financials, such as all the collections of the rent and payments to the vendors or anything related to the operation of the property. And our resident can also request orders through Resume, and our maintenance team can handle everything, including the performance of the work orders, communication, pictures or videos to be handled through Resume. And leases, we use Blue Moon leases, and we also paid Dropbox for our team to put all the documents and everything related to the operation, to the properties, communication on Dropbox. No matter where I am, no matter where the properties are, we can see all the documents, and if any of the employees had to take some days off, we can move somebody else from the other location to help. And just like I said, that when we grew big enough, we hired our first regional manager, and now we have 3 regional managers on our team and some maintenance supervisors. If your portfolio is growing, especially like us, across cities or states, you need to boots on the ground. So what regional managers handle for us? First, visit all the properties that they are in charge of weekly or monthly. Monitor the on-site management team. Make sure that our manager walk their properties weekly, especially the vacant units. Coordinate the vendors and turnovers. Our on-site team, the manager and the maintenance team, will be their assistant as well. Handle any emergencies that the on-site team, for example, the manager or the maintenance team, cannot handle, or they didn't know what to do the next. That would go to the regional managers first. And if they don't know what to do, how to handle that, they would call me or Zach. Report on the resident concerns. Usually, those will be handled on site by the managers. If the managers can handle some situations, they would go to the regional managers. And if the regional managers cannot handle that, they would reach out to us. Regional managers also oversee on-site manager or maintenance team. So usually the regional managers would take more responsibilities than the on-site property manager. The on-site property managers, we usually hire people are more detailed, know how to make decisions on most of the scenarios, honest and good with systems. It doesn't mean that all of our regional managers are super good at our property management system, but some of them are really good at handling people, dealing with all kinds of vendors. Of course, we need to let them know what they need to do and what our expectations are, especially on our first regional managers. We have to train them ourselves. Of course, we don't know what exactly they should do, but we just pass some of our responsibilities that we need someone to take care of. and then slowly pass more tasks to them. Some people like to do the weekly course. It may help, but we communicate with our regional managers pretty much every day or every other day. So here comes what the owner or landlord or the GP team should do still, other than giving everything to your regional managers, your on-site property managers. Just because we have systems already and the regional manager, on-site managers working for us, doesn't mean we can disappear. Owner or landlords or GP teams still need to lead, check in, and physically show up. What we still do as owner or the GP team, we review our reports and financial weekly, communicate with the regional managers at least twice a week, have the meeting, we have monthly meeting with all the management team, and then visit each property at least quarterly after they stay stable. Maintain relationships with the key vendors, but pretty much our regional managers would handle that. Make strategy calls, like how discuss our team how to improve our leasing, improve our revenue, what CapEx we need to do, how about the rent increase. Our presence, even just part-time, set the tone of excellence, because we need to let our team know we care no matter where we live, where we travel to. And we also manage all the properties using standard TAA or NAA lease, which give us the structure to enforce policies and from a distance. So make sure that you have your checklist while doing your mobile management, like standard TAA or NAA leases, document system, property management system, any digital forms or digital storage, SOPs for all the positions, and also SOPs for your vendors, such as anything happen to the plumbing, electrical emergencies, and you have backup access to your trust team. When the rules are clear, your team can act without waiting on you. You don't have to be everywhere at once. You just need the right tools, the right people, and the right leadership mindset. Managing remotely is possible. Just don't forget to stay involved. Drop a comment below if you want what our regional manager checklist